our lives are lived in black and white. It makes the day so hard to see. The same old people, the same old steeples on every corner for half a mile. But nothing changes, and ain't it strange that we didn't notice as a child that slow living can be life-giving. Although we might disagree, if most our lives are lived in black and white, it makes the day so hard. Living in a dry state where we all say grace, buying liquor on a Sunday across the county line, where the raindrops rolling off the rooftops, making the clouds stop just a little while. Our slow living can be life-giving, although we might disagree. If most our lives are lived in black and white, it makes the gray so hard to see. Sitting on the porch steps in the town where we met after the sun sets on a Friday night. Southern firefly lighting up the night sky. Lucky to realize one more time
맛있어.
that slow can be life-giving, although we disagree. If most our lives are lived in black and white, it makes the day so hard. It makes the day
앞니.
to see.
자자 이제.
계단이 문을 닫아주세요. 코스를